Hi. Uh, I published books on Amazon, published them as eBooks, and I thought that I would call your attention to them. I started publishing them a year ago, and I put 10 of them on, and I thought, nah, that's a good way to end it, just 10. But I couldn't refrain. I had to add more, so this year actually uh, this past month I added almost 9 more that I've been working on, and I thought I would show them to you in case you're interested in checking them out. I did about 3 fiction books, but the rest are all nonfiction. And the very first book I published on here was a novel I wrote called Trucker Jihad, and followed by, well, you'll see here. Anyway, that's Trucker Jihad. By the way, in all the books I published on Amazon as ebooks, um, I I all go. It has me all going by the pen name of Ramit Ramsey. So yeah, you'll see it here. So Ramit Ramsey, Trucker Jihad, the very first novel I wrote, followed by this book here called Holding a Mirror Up to Islam. I want to tell you about Holding a Mirror Up to Islam. Hold Up a Mirror to Islam is a nonfiction book, and it's where I'm talking to Muslims about Islam, asking questions and things like that, and the responses and stuff. So it gets a lot of what they're of the dialogues that we've been having, followed by something just like it called Jihad of Words. And that's actually not the third book I published. That's like I don't know, I think it's like the 8th or something like that. Jihad of Words. Because the third book I actually published on Amazon was a science fiction novelette, I guess you could say, called The Wrath of Ramadar. The Wrath of Ramadar. Here it is. Yeah, that was the third one I actually published. If that looks like a giant Muslim, Godzilla style in a city with a smoke, a flame, with a smoke, like a spray coming out of his mouth, atomic spray. It is, yeah. Okay. And also I did a nonfiction book called Of Mice and Sarah Palin, and Mutania Wars. Both covers are art created by my nephew. I thought, oh yeah, those would make good book covers. So I just took his paintings and then added my titles to them of the books. Yeah, Mice and Sarah Palin. Of Mice and Sarah Palin and Mutania Wars. Those are nonfiction books, and they're dealing with, again, with my talking with Muslims and liberals and atheists. And then I did Muslims versus Ramit. Muslims versus Ramit. And by the way, that is me behind bars. Muslims versus Ramit was when I was on the website called Mix. And since the people on Mix didn't like me questioning Islam, they put me behind bars, and then they banned me because they thought I was mean to ask Muslims questions about Islam and like that. So here I'm actually behind bars. That's me, my picture, and I'm behind bars. And then they banned me. I want to tell you something though. Mix collapsed, and so everyone who banned me, their words disappeared also. So I guess it was karma, maybe, I guess you could say. Oh, then another one I did was called Full Phasers on the Borg Cube. Full Phasers on the Borg Cube, yeah. And but if you can tell, that's not exactly a Borg Cube. Could be something like it, though. It's the Kaaba in Mecca. Yeah, Full Phasers in the Borg Cube. That also is a nonfiction book. And then I did another one called Painting the Night with Stars. That's supposed to be a comet, night sky, and that's me standing by a body of water. Yeah, and then another one is I want to, Painting the Night with Stars is also dealing with Metania, my handle on Netscape's propeller. That also went defunct, taking everyone's words with it. Luckily, I was able to copy and paste them and then make a book out of it, which I did. And then I did one called Atheists into the Twilight Zone. That's supposed to be that's me representing an old atheist wearing glasses, and he's looking at himself in the mirror. It's kind of like holding up a mirror to atheists, I guess you could say. And it's dealing with my talks with atheists on the internet. Then this year, I published my first. Well, I've written a lot of plays, but this is the first one I published also in ebook form, called Sniper on the Kaaba, which, yeah. Sniper on the Kaaba, also from the Messages from the Edge of Earth series. I want to tell you about Messages from the Edge of Earth. It's a novel I'm working on that I don't expect to finish until 2018, because I'm still doing research with it, and Sniper on the Kaaba is a part of it. But I used a picture of me for the. I did a picture of myself for the cover. Plus, I also did in different languages. This is the French. This is the Spanish version, and this is the French version, and then this is the Italian version, and the German version is the only one where I'm looking this way. Each picture is a little different because, well, when they're translated, they're different. But let's put it that way. And I thought, well, hey, instead of just having why not put my novel Trucker Jihad in different languages also? So I did. I did it with German, Italian, French, and eventually I'll do it in Spanish. But see, that's the German version. This is the Italian version, and the French version of Trucker Jihad, which is a science fiction novel I wrote, the first one I wrote, but I decided last month to put them into different languages. And then, just a couple of weeks ago, I just finished another science fiction novel, but it's a novelette. It's like Wrath of Ramadar. It's called Call Me Jibril. Call Me Jibril. And it's inspired by all my talks with Muslims and stuff. A lot of the Muslim idea and Islam went into the creating of this science fiction about the creator of Islam going back in time to help give Muhammad pointers on how to make Islam victorious. So that's the latest one I've done. Call Me Jibril. And I enjoyed making it. But I want to tell you something. I'm going to be probably publishing one more novel. Not a novel. It will be a book. It's a strange book. I don't think it's ever been done before. It's called The Gospel According to a DVD Burner. And you'll see why when I publish it. It sounds blasphemous, but I want to tell you. What I did is I wrote well, I didn't write. I read onto videotape back in the 90s all the New Testament. And then about 8 years ago, I made DVDs of my reading of the New Testament onto VHS. And I noticed that there were files, random files that were created from putting it onto burning it onto DVD. So when I looked at it, not all of the New Testament was there, just parts of it. And what I did is I took it and turned it into a book called The Gospel According to a DVD Player, which I will publish in case you think, God works in mysterious ways. You might. It's like a edited version of the New Testament, not done by humans, but by a DVD player. And since it was all done randomly, hey, maybe you can read your own thoughts into it. I don't know. So that's going to be the latest one tonight.